Nithyananda, guys, it's Priscilla. Today I want to speak about one factor that makes the difference between a successful person and a non-successful person from a spiritual perspective. And that is, what does this person have that what's the difference between a Steve Jobs and somebody else? What is that defining factor that can get somebody to be a failure or a success? That is will persistence. This term was actually coined, of course, by my guru Swamiji. He's the master wordsmith. But will persistence is the idea that it is a choice, it is a decision to continue to push through things, to push yourself, to keep going when you're in a low, regardless of the ups or downs and the highs and lows, that you keep persisting. Whatever incompletion comes up, you keep facing it. Whatever pattern that is been rooted in you since you were a kid, you keep looking at it. All your blind spots, you're dedicated to see. And the way I see it is like, this is what makes the difference between success and failure. Because the only thing I consider failure is giving up. Is giving up on yourself, giving up on others, giving up on life. Because it's just an ultimate saying no to life. So even when you're struggling, even when you're in a low mood, whatever it is, you can say yes to life simply just by persisting. By making the strong decision with your will to keep persisting through and keep going. And that is the ultimate yes to yourself and to life, because it's a decision to not give up. It's a strength and determination, and ultimately a resilience to get to the root of whatever you're going through, and ultimately to reach the goal of enlightenment. And through the face of adversity, whatever it may be that you're going through, if you can take a step back, and no matter how crazy it is, no matter how much turmoil you're feeling inside, to have that will persistence is what gets you through it. It's what gets you through to the other side. I have seen this so much in my own life. Like, I don't think, if I didn't have will persistence in so many situations, I could have become, a completely different person. It's funny, like sometimes kids in kind of crazy families or families with addiction issues, they'll either turn out, what therapists say is they either turn out one of two ways. They either become an addict themselves or they marry one. And I happen to avoid both of those things. Of course, with the the blessings of the cosmos and divine grace, but also because I think I really have always had that will persistence in mind and instilled in me. Is like, I wasn't going to let that become me, and I wasn't going to let that become my life. And that was just a side factor of my past life and self, but I find myself having to use this every single day here at my guru's Adinam here in India, because constantly what's being shown to you in this space, because it's the space of such a conscious shift, everything is a mirror. Every person, every situation is the purest reflection of you, and what that means is it's really difficult sometimes. It's really ugly sometimes. It's not fun to look at because you don't want to see things. You don't want to deal with things that come up in your inner space and your outer world. But having that will persistence gets you through it at the end of the day. It gets you to the next level. And it keeps that clarity in your head of what you're really after. And I think on top of it, as a side factor, it allows you not to get into a depression, because you're constantly being reminded that you're more powerful than your powerlessness. When you don't have will persistence, all you're doing is giving power to those moments of powerlessness. When you're sitting crying, feeling so alone, or you're angry and you want to just hit something, if you give power to those situations only, that's all you'll become. That's all that'll become your reality. But when you persist through with this bigger goal in mind, one of reaching a higher space of consciousness and enlightenment, you can go to that next level. You can keep going to the next level. That is just my experience of will persistence. So Thanks for listening, guys, and let me know what your thoughts and everything and questions. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will get back to you soon. Nithyananda.